Do you feel like winter always brings this weird pressure to speed up? Everyone's saying, let's finish strong, sharing their goals, achievements, hustling harder, doing more. And especially as small business owners, it can feel like the entire season is one long to-do list. But what I think is that we don't have to run our businesses that way. Nature slows down in winter, and maybe we're meant to as well. In this vlog, I'm navigating all of this as we dive headfirst into the busy holiday season. And I'm showing you how I'm rewilding my life and business to make it feel more sustainable, aligned, and intentional.
Wow, how has time been passing so quickly? I feel like this is that time of year where I try to pull back and really intentionally slow myself down and just control the way I want to pace everything with a business, because it can get crazy and I think we can all get swept up in it. Small business owners especially, creatives. I mean, there's just so much noise. There's so many thousands of emails in our inboxes, but I refuse to fall into that. Vibes are high. It is Sagittarius season. If you did not know, I am a true blue Sagittarius. I connect so much with that sign. It's funny, like my friends have been sending me all this Sag stuff and I'm just like, that is so me. And it's so funny. Like, I know it's just, you take what you will and you leave what you don't. And people are like, oh my God, don't put yourself in a box or label yourself, whatever. But I connect so much with that sign for some reason. And I feel so seen. So if you're into astrology and that explains anything to you about me, I really do connect with it. Usually, I feel like this time of year, I feel so frazzled and crazy, but this year, I'm feeling surprisingly calm. I'm about to go to Ohana to do my drop for this week, so I'm just putting on the finishing touches. But yeah, hi, happy holiday season. I'm glad you're here. Switching to the bigger box.
It's getting cold, baby. I just want you close. I got all this joy in my heart, and if it's getting dark, yeah, we can go inside, baby. Won't you hold me tight? I don't need any presents, 'cause I know I have you. I just need you, and I know it will be a magic holiday.
Holy crap, I just stumbled upon a bear carcass in the creek. I guess that's not super unusual, like we definitely get a lot of bears here. But I saw Wicked over the weekend. It's Tuesday now, and I have just been nonstop watching all of the interviews and the behind the scenes and like all the things. It's bringing me back to like my high school teenage self. I don't know. Wicked the musical started touring in 2006, which was actually my senior year of high school, and I was so obsessed with the musical, the soundtrack. I truly thought they did a great job with both films, both parts. And if you haven't seen it, go watch it. If you are obsessed with it like I am, let me know. I remember in senior year, I was like one of those nerds that just listened to soundtracks to musicals a lot. And it was one of my favorites. I've seen it a couple times now, but it had been a while since I'd seen it and listened to the music. So in the last couple years, like with the movies coming out, it's just been cool, like getting back in touch with that part of me. And they did such a good job. It's so many emotions, obviously, and it's interesting watching it as an adult now, and like all this time has passed, and just there's so much more nuance in the character arcs and the story and things that I wouldn't have picked up on back then, but are so relevant to me now. It just feels so like of our time right now too. So I don't know, just so good. I loved it. I've been listening to the soundtrack a lot too. But I just dropped off at Ohana. They're starting to get busy, so I just want to make sure they're stocked before this weekend push and shipping a couple orders. But like I said, I've been trying to do at least one thing for me a day. The trail is so quiet right now. There's no one out here. And it just feels good to be out and like finding this grounding. It's like the reminder again, like even though our like society and world and small business like makes life feel so crazy out here on the trail, it's like so peaceful. I'm here walking with Arya and listening to the creek and like the wind and the trees. And even if you can only get out on like a 15-minute walk around your neighborhood, like that moment away from everything is so important. It's what I've really built my business around. It's like prioritizing life and these things that I love to do. And yes, there are seasons of hustle, especially when you're growing something or building something new, but it doesn't mean you have to sacrifice all of this other stuff. And in many ways, like that's why I started the retreats too. Like I love to travel, and I wanted to create this space for like other women, other creatives and small business owners to have the opportunity to do something that's not only going to contribute to their business growth, but their personal growth while on a trip, and like actually embody the meaning of living life and building a business around that. So all the thoughts swirling in my head as usual. I know I've been yapping a lot lately, but it's just that busy season, and it's easy to get caught up in it, but don't forget to do those things for yourself too. It's very important.
Going away to come up higher, giving pine straw to the fire, turn the boxes right side down, tired pulling every day, all the shifting, can we take it, drawing circles in the sand, washing out new plans, sing out blue whale, old man in the water, slow motion, ocean river, carry on into the sea changes, sea changes, carry on into the sea changes.
Wow, it's been a day. I woke up late today. I usually wake up around 7:30, but today I woke up at like 8:45 and I had a meeting at 9 o'clock. So I was like, I haven't used an alarm in a while. And I try, especially when I know there's nothing I need to wake up for, I try not to have an alarm just to let my body rest. And I guess I really needed the rest today. But for the program I'm in, I have this homework that's like you meet with 2 other of your peers to do a triad is what we call them. But anyway, so that's how I started the day, a little bit on my heels, but that's okay. And I was interviewed for something else. I have a client that I'm working with in a little bit here, so I'm just gonna have some lunch now. But between all those calls, like I guess there's just all this back end admin stuff that I had to do, fires that I needed to put out. So it's been one of those days, but that's okay. Just working with Squarespace, working with the payment processor, calling my insurance, like all these things that I was like, wow, that was not something I was planning to do today, but glad I got them knocked out, I guess. And I think that's what's been really awesome about having my more block schedule. This is just one of those weeks, and I think especially for small business owners, it's like we forget to take care of ourselves during the busy seasons and feel like because, usually for most small business owners, the holiday seasons where you make a majority or a really huge part of your revenue. So it feels like you need to just get as much as you can out of this time. But a lot of us forget to take care of ourselves, and then you're exhausted when it's over and it takes so long to recover. So in the last several years, I've really learned to just not let that noise get to me, to do the things I need to do to keep going, but also to take care of myself and to let myself do things like sleep in, go on a dinner date with friends, have a nice lunch and watch some wicked behind the scenes stories and interviews, like that kind of stuff. And what does that look like for you? You kind of have to create those boundaries for yourself on, what you're willing to sacrifice, what is a big priority and what's actually not a super big priority. Does that make sense? But just wanted to pop on and share that with you because this day has not gone according to plan, which is fine. I love working with my clients so much. They are just so wonderful and amazing women, and it's just been so cool, like watching their transformations throughout our journey, getting to just build something that feels so aligned. And, for me, it feels so aligned as well, like I'm equally as excited to help them build what they're building. And it feels cool. I don't even know how to express it. Like, I'm still amazed at just what putting something out there, putting a dream out there and working towards it can do. And it's so funny, like this time of year, there's all this like Sagittarius stuff that pops up all the time. I'm a Sagittarius. I think I told you that already. You might know that. And I do align with so many of the things so much. And one of the things I was reading, she is a heart-driven dreamer filled with big visions for her future, always putting in the effort to turn those dreams into her reality. Why is it that there's a lot of people that have these big dreams but never take the steps towards them? I mean, have you noticed that with yourself at all or other people in your life? And if you have noticed that, like, what are those things holding you back? Or what do you think is holding you back, or these other people in your life that you've seen holding themselves back? And at the same time, like, what would it look like to take one step? Like, what would that one small step be to actually move towards the dream? I'm just curious. Like, it's the curiosity too that's been driving a lot of these conversations, and I just am feeling so inspired by them. And I just got a big order. I just saw an order come through for a few hats that, left a really lovely note. And this was someone I didn't even know was on the newsletter that must have been there for a while now, and left a really lovely note. So thank you. Thank you for ordering. Thank you for leaving me a note. As you can see, it's already getting dark. It's not even that late. It gets dark so early now, but I think I'm going to take Aria out just to get some fresh air. I've been on the computer a lot today with all these different meetings and interviews and client work. So let's take a little walk just to breathe in that crisp energy, and vibes are high. I hope you're feeling them too. Why is it that so many of us get stuck in rhythms and ways of working that don't actually serve us? I think it's because we're rarely shown another option. When you never see people choosing a different path, it feels risky, like stepping outside of the box isn't safe. But if the path you're on is misaligned, is that really safety, or is that just familiarity? What would happen if you gave yourself space to imagine something different? And I'm not saying quit your job, move across the world, and build a small business, but what is one small step you could take towards something that actually does feel more aligned? What would that look like? And what would happen if you did? Rob's in there making pie right now, so I'm waiting my turn. We don't have a very big kitchen, so I'm letting him finish his pie before I go in there and start my prep. But we're gathering with some friends today, which is usually our tradition. We didn't go skiing. We usually ski, but we just don't have that much snow. So it's been sad in that sense. Hopefully we get a big storm today, but I'm so excited. I've been getting quite a few orders, which thank you so much. So, and like I said, I didn't have much in stock, so I'm kind of just happily knitting the orders to order right now. And I never watched the Macy's parade, but Huntrix from K-Pop Demon Hunters performed, and it was so good. Again and again, it just makes little me feel so healed. Adult me, too. Just even seeing representation like that. I don't know, it really is powerful, and I know I keep talking about it, but these last few weeks between K-pop Demon Hunters and Wicked, I don't know, I'm just having this revival, and it feels really good. And I know this holiday can be so complicated, like there's really dark history, over consumerism, like there's all these things that I just really struggle with, honestly. But at the same time, I'm like, you can hold two things at once, right? You can also feel grateful for the things that you're grateful for and celebrate with loved ones and, rest. But also feel those complicated feelings. So that's just where I'm at. So I hope that whatever you're doing, that you're also making sure you take care of yourself. We're almost done.
We can hold multiple feelings at once, and that's exactly why I've been wrestling with this product side of my business lately. I felt so re-inspired at my market, and talking about the ethics behind what I do, connecting with people face to face, and really feeling that spark again. But my online sales have felt really different, and maybe that's the part I'm feeling misaligned with right now. I still want to share my work with the world, and the internet can be such a powerful tool, but I don't want to get swept up in the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, buy pressure. And do I need to make money from my business? Yes, it's my full-time income. But I'm also reshaping what that looks like in ways that honor my values and actually feel good to me now. And we're all allowed to evolve. We just don't always give ourselves permission, and winter is such a powerful season for that. It's a time to slow down, to make space, and really reimagine what the next version of our business could look like. Happy Small Business Saturday! I successfully took a total potato day yesterday. Got some orders, so I just literally stayed in my PJs and knit on the couch, watched some movies, ate leftovers. It was so lovely. But yeah, today I was like struggling back and forth between, do I just stay here and write like some drafts and emails to promote Small Business Saturday? And I'm like, no, I don't need to do that anymore. I'm skiing with my friend. We don't need to hustle. And I get needing to make the money when you can. There's also something to also enjoying your holiday weekend and, letting the sales come when they come. And not saying don't be proactive and take initiative to marketing yourself, but it's like, I don't know, it's finding that balance, and I'm still working on it myself. But this year I'm kind of like, I'm just gonna enjoy. And I have another pop-up market next week. The shops have been really busy. I've been selling a lot at the shops, and I don't need to be stressed out about knitting and the products. In January, I'm planning to run a fun little 4-week cohort. You're hearing it first, so keep an eye out for that. But that's something I want to work on and spend my time doing right now too. So enjoying, staying grounded.
Look at how neon these are. I'm going to a little kid birthday party. She's turning 6. Look at these ridiculous palms. It's gonna be as big as that. So doing a little bit of gift knitting. Oh, it was just so fun getting outside today. And seriously, like the most amazing weather where it's super cold, but bluebird, everything's beautiful. High vibe. And we ran into a bunch of friends at the umbrella bar, which was so fun. I don't know if I've talked to you about this very much, but 4 years ago, I developed an alcohol allergy, essentially. And at the time, I was actually diagnosed with an autoimmune condition. But I think it actually was a misdiagnosis. I actually developed an alcohol allergy. And I haven't drank in 4 years, but it's really fun now that there's so many more NA options, including like an NA michelada, which I was like, why have I not tried this before? Like I forgot that was even an option. But yeah, it just makes it fun, But I think earlier when I was talking about the whole Small Business Saturday thing, I think a bigger part of it is that I'm kind of in that season of business, as you know, as I keep talking about in this evolution, where I'm kind of in this like transition phase, like roots phase, where I'm putting down these roots where I don't need to push for growth. I need to just maintain and not even just maintain, but like I want to realign the knitting side. And if you're a business owner right now in the thick of it and wondering like, what am I even doing? You know, it's something to think about in the sense of like, I know for myself, I want my business to be something that I have for a really long time that can support my life for the next 10, 20, however long of my life, you know? And it's not going to do that if I get burned out and if I don't pivot and realign to what my life looks like now. And there's no shame in being in the hustle phase of your business because it takes hard work to grow something. It takes time to grow something. Okay, look at these things. But it's also like, if you've built something and you're like, what have I done? It can't just be like this. I guess I'm just here to tell you too, like, it's okay to change and evolve. And that's the power that we have as small business owners, as solopreneurs. Like, as a solopreneur, like, we don't have other people depending on our revenue to pay. You know what I mean? And for me, that's one of many reasons that I intentionally stay small. People are always like, oh, would you ever hire someone to help you knit? Like, da-da-da, like that kind of stuff. And, you know, I have people that help me for certain things that I'll pay, but no one is depending on me for their income. And that's just me. Everyone's different in that sense. And I think that's why I always ask about, like, what is your enough? What does your dream look like? Because it's going to be different for everyone. And that's why with my clients, like, that I work with one-on-one to help build their businesses, it's like, that's some of the first stuff that we talk about and really dig deep into. And sometimes it's like we have this idea that we go with for a long time until we actually have to stop and reflect. And then we're like, wait, is this actually what I want now? So just things to think about. And I'm so excited for this January cohort. If you're feeling like, wow, I really want to make these shifts for 2026 in my life or business, check it out. I'm so excited for it. I'm really doing this almost like as a beta test to see what it would look like to do, to host a group online and not just at the retreats. But I got to get going to this party and I'll talk to you later. Happy Monday. It's December 1st. So crazy. What a wild time of year. I don't know about you, but I always get so overwhelmed with how many emails get sent out that I'm getting. I did a pretty good job last year, I feel like, of unsubscribing from the ones that I don't care for, you know? And then the ones that I do care for, it's kind of like, you know, as a business owner, it's twofold. One, it's seeing what I gravitate towards and what I don't. It's also supporting these other small business owners and shops that, you know, I actually do want their stuff. But from a like learning and education standpoint, I have a little tab or a label in my inbox that I label as marketing. And if there's an email that I gravitate towards and open, I save it in there, almost like to study like what drew me to it, what was the subject line, like that kind of stuff. And then in some ways it's also just like seeing how I react to the types of emails I'm getting and then not doing the things that I don't like to my email. You know what I mean? So anyway, just a little tasty tidbit about marketing and emails. But I ended up getting quite a few orders. This is like half of the orders that I got over the weekend. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for shopping from my small business. And in one of my emails last week, I wrote about how truly, like, when you shop from my small business, you're really supporting at least 5 other small businesses. Like the materials that I use, the palms I get from my friend who makes them, the tags is another women-led small business, like all these things. And I feel like as creatives and small business owners, I saw this post that was like, my favorite MLM is when you support a small business, or when you make it, when a small business owner gets a sale, they shop from another small business who then shops from another small business. And I was like, yup, that's totally what I do too. But anyway, so it's just that kind of really festive time of year that I do still feel a lot of conflict with, you know, like just the consumerism and the more and the materialistic stuff, but then also understanding and acknowledging it's like, for some people, like, this is the time of year where they can actually afford to buy a lot of the things that they might not be able to at full price. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like both. And then, like I've been saying before, and just this whole like creative evolution and just realigning my business and how I run it, it's like I want to still have the beanies and the story behind this work and the movement behind my brand to be something that I share about and talk about and hopefully connect with you on. And that's really the most important part to me. But yeah, routines have just been out the window this week with like Thanksgiving and just new snow in town. It's actually kind of funny, like having had my big market earlier this month, I feel like I almost like let the foot off the gas a little bit in terms of like prepping inventory. And now I'm like, wait, I still have December that I have to stock the local shops for. But it's always so needed to take the breaks when you need to. But holiday sale season is here. I hope you're taking care of yourself if you're also a small business owner. And I think that's really what all of this is about, is reconnecting with yourself and your goals, because there can be so much noise, especially now at the end of the year, where people are saying what they want to do in 2026 and and things that you think then, wait, do I need to want that too? Or then you start comparing yourself and all of that. But the important part is, what do you want and how can you take those steps to get there? But it's such a gorgeous day out today. We got a ton of snow. It's Bluebird. So let's get these orders packed and then get outside for a little bit. We're the ones who put all this chaotic energy into winter. Nature isn't rushing. It's resting, renewing, and turning inward. And every year I'm reminded that we get to choose that too. Whatever you're creating and wherever you are on your journey, I hope you're giving yourself permission to slow down, rewild a little, and reconnect with the part of you that made you want to build this life in the first place. Thank you for supporting my shop this holiday season, for trusting me to support your creative business, and for being part of this May Wild community. Here's to doing business differently. I'll see you in the next one.